So I'm going to tell a joke after I'm going to start this with a joke. What is the difference between the U.S. Constitution and the Chinese Constitution? Get ready. Both have freedom of speech, but only one has freedom after speech. I'm going to tell a joke at the end too. This is a summary of the U.S. Constitution, which I think is 19 pages, the preamble. The preamble lists the reasons that the 13 original colonies separated from their mother country and became an independent nation. So the U.S. Constitution is the supreme leader of our land. We got tired of the king having a bad mood, and then a bunch of us died. The king had a good mood, and we're all happy, and that's why basically we reject Donald Trump. We reject dictators, and we reject kings. Which is awkward for me to say because I'm in Asia, and I love Thailand. I love the king of Thailand. I love the prince and the queen of Cambodia, but I'm just giving my best interpretation of my understanding of history, which may or may not be totally correct. And everybody is entitled to a different opinion, and thank God I'm not Chinese, and after I say something freely, then I get jailed or executed or disappear or re-educated in somewhere, like all the Muslims in China. Like, I can just say what I want, and then it's like, what are you going to do? I'm American. You can go pound sand. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, unlike the Soviet Union with dictators and secret prisons and all that BS, establish justice, make a good government and laws, encourage domestic tranquility, peace in our homes, provide for the common defense, national security, and secure the blessings of liberty, freedom, to ourselves and our posterity, which means our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. We don't want to have a bunch of power and feel great, like get power drunk and, oh yeah, and then it's like our children or grandchildren are enslaved or have slaves or in living hell. Like, the whole point is for our kids and grandkids. Promote the general welfare, healthy communities. That's why we have the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN. So just remember, the UN is totally divided right this second in 2020. You got Dr. Fauci, who represents the World Health Organization, and then you have me, which represents the mission first, no more extreme poverty. Second is no more extreme hunger. Third is good health. So thankfully, we have me and the U.S. Constitution versus Dr. Fauci, who's willing to tank our entire economy, which he's technically not allowed to do. Because that will incur more suffering and human suffering. I mean, it's like, look, in Japan, more women have committed suicide in 1 month than all the women who have died over the last 1 year due to coronavirus. So I totally disagree with Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci, Barack Obama, because I think they're not putting the mission first. They're basically putting the World Health Organization first at the expense of what really matters, preventing world war, which is why the first mission first is no more extreme poverty. So if we're triggering people into extreme poverty, they wouldn't know this. They haven't been in war. They're in their ivory towers. They're not nucleus field scientists or field scientists. You know, they don't know. But that's kind of the point of the U.S. Constitution. It protects us from each other and allows people like me to say whatever the hell I want. You know, I could be wrong. Like, I can't punish them for saying what they want. They can't punish me for saying what I want. That's the beauty of it. Promote the general welfare, healthy communities, and secure the blessings of liberty, freedom to ourselves and posterity. Friends and family, children, grandchildren, do ordain and establish, give authority, this Constitution, the supreme law of our land. It's our supreme leader. It's not like North Korea or Britain back in the day where it's like a person is the supreme leader. They get pissed off one day, and it's like terrors rain down on society. It doesn't work that way in the U.S. It's a living document. When you visit the United States and Washington, D.C., and take a picture with our supreme leader, our carefully curated document, you post it on Facebook for the United States of America. where I'm at. Oh, I'm at 5 minutes. Maybe I'll go to 10 minutes and then like 10 or 15 minutes, and then if I'm not finished, then I will do another video later, in theory. I'll put this as part of Top Wiggie's business plan. The most transparent, publicly traded company of all time. And being a political science nerd, in addition to having finished all the coursework for a PhD in public health, community health, global health, group health, field hygiene, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, I'll make a joke. Because, even though Barack Obama is my best friend, I am vitriolically pissed off at him for signing the National Defense Authorization Act on New Year's Eve when everybody wasn't looking to protect the NSA. Wrong. Deeply and profoundly wrong. And so there's a joke that I read on the internet that said, what would happen if all of us emailed each other a copy of the U.S. Constitution? And the punchline is, in the spirit of Edward Snowden, the NSA might actually read it and realize a lot of what they're doing is totally outside the context of the U.S. Constitution. The 7 articles of the U.S. Constitution, I'll end this with a joke, by the way, too. Like, this is a summary of the U.S. Constitution. Like, you know, maybe my best friends and colleagues at the NSA will, like, read the summary if they won't read all 19 pages. Or maybe not. It's their right to do whatever they want. Like, they just have jobs. They just work there, you know? Like, they didn't design the thing. The leaders are, you know, designing it and defending them and, you know, violating the Constitution in the process and all that good stuff. The 7 articles of the U.S. Constitution. The Constitution is our plan for government. The articles of the Constitution talk about the duties of the 3 main parts of government: the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the free press, which is the 4th branch of government, which is also considered the First Amendment. The articles also talk about the separate powers of the federal and state government and how to change the Constitution. Article 1. Legislative branch. The U.S. Congress makes the laws for the United States. The Congress has 2 parts called House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. It's also called the House of Commons. It's people who are generally less educated, who don't travel outside the United States as much, who are less cultured, less worldly, and they represent the people who are down to earth, who live there, who make up most of the country, who want to raise their families there, and pay taxes to fund NASA and moon landings, and have every right, if not more, to have a say in government than the people who are more educated and make up the Senate and have been around the world and know how everything works. People like me, basically, who are arrogant assholes who don't really represent the average American. Article 2, the executive branch. The president, vice president, cabinet, and department under the cabinet secretaries carry out the laws made by Congress. Wait, what? I know this. I have a bachelor's degree in political science and psychology simultaneously. I'm a political science nerd, I'm a psychology nerd, and more than anything else in the world, I'm an expert in public health, world health. In fact, World Health Day, by the way, Dr. Fauci, falls on my birthday, April 7th. And just to be a total gentleman, because I am, I will Wikipedia you, learn your family members' names, and find 5 to 10 points that I can truly connect with you and respect you on, because that's important to me, to try to understand you. Just as I would wish that it's important for you, Dr. Fauci, to understand me. Like, just like President Obama says, we got to find common ground, or else we're just going to endlessly fight and nothing will ever get done. Article 2, executive branch. The president, vice president, cabinet, and department under the cabinet secretaries carries out the laws made by Congress. There's all kinds of little loopholes in this. Like, right now, a president can basically unofficially declare war and do it in a kind of roundabout, backdoor way where the Congress is sort of like, wait a second, like, so the global war on terror is not, we didn't at any point declare an act of war, but we're engaged in world war, global war on terror. It's like, what's going on here? Like, And so there's lots, there are probably more problems with the United States than there is with China, to be honest. That's my honest perspective. Like, you don't see China floating drones across 10 other countries, violating their national sovereignty, using the best lawyers on earth to get away with it in a way where it like circumvents Congress, and you know, it's like we're doing it but we're not doing it. It's like everybody gets it. The United States has the best lawyers in the world. We can make something that is deeply and disturbingly unethical sort of legal. Like, that's how Americans roll. Like, judicial branch. The Supreme Court decides court cases according to the U.S. Constitution. The courts under the Supreme Court decide criminal and civil court cases according to the correct. But Jesus Christ, like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. The courts under the Supreme Court decided criminal and civil court cases according to the correct federal, state, and local laws. Let's end there. So later on, I'll go into 3. So, why did the redneck, hillbilly, trailer trash, I've heard it all, like piece of shit American that should have never been given a passport or let outside the country, why did he read the U.S. Constitution? He thought the articles in it were interesting. Dad out.